Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
You're describing illegal immigration, which has been around for a long time as an invasion, which is fine for you if you want to do that. But why is that unusual that there's a process to go through to deport people? I mean, that's actually just how the system works.
Do you know how long it takes for this process, this paperwork to get people out? The guy that we've all been weeping and gnashing teeth over, the guy we sent to El Salvador, was in the country 14 years illegally.
But what about what
We've
Dante's,
got millions of people who have gamed this system,
what
and
about
now
what
we're going to
Dante-
give it
Either
to
you
them.
believe in the Constitution or you don't. And
I believe in the sovereignty of the United States, or you don't.
But
So you don't
do
believe
you believe in the Constitution?
I believe in the sovereignty of the United
So you
States,
don't
and I
believe
believe,
in
and I believe we've
And
been
you don't
invaded.
believe that Donald
Can I
Trump
ask
should
a
abide
question?
by the Constitution?
Just a serious question.
Of course I do. And of course I
Do
believe.
you believe that he does?
And I believe that he will follow, just as he said, what the Supreme Court says. But the policy debate is worth
From the
having.
very beginning,
Millions
of Trump,
upon millions of
when
people are
Trump
here, and they will not
campaigning,
leave. And he has to get them out.
always
I agree with you with
believed
that, Scott.
in executive
Hold on a
orders.
second. Dante,
Always,
just let him
always.
finish.
From the very beginning, from 2016, he has believed in executive overreach. We've all seen that. He said it. It was clear. Are you saying now that you don't believe that he believes in executive overreach?
I believe that he believes his mandate from the American people is to solve illegal immigration. And I would ask you the same question in reverse. Did Joe Biden, when he said he would faithfully uphold and execute the laws of this land, not mean it when he decided to let millions upon millions of people into the country? Because he did not execute the laws.
I thought that you were going to squirm out of that question.
I'm not squirming.
And yes, you did. And that's why I prepared for it, because I want to read you something. At the core of Trump's candidacy is a call for greater executive authority with willful disregard for the constitutional limits placed on our chief executive. Trump especially promises to force individual companies to do things he wants them to do, or else he promises punishment to those who displease him, which appeals to the miserable man at the airport bar. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, I wrote it.
Exactly.
And here's
so
the deal.
what he hasn't
And
changed.
here's
So
the
what has changed about you?
And here's the difference between then and now. This country has been invaded. The president was elected.
So
to
you
end the
changed your
invasion.
opinion on the Constitution?
My opinion is the president needs to pull every lever he can to solve the illegal
So
immigration
you've answered
crisis.
that question by saying that you don't mind him being
Do you
unconstitutional.
believe that every immigrant here is the same? You can't believe that because
Yes.
they're not. They're not.
I do.
There's some good, there's some bad. There's some criminal.
I believe everybody who's here illegally is here illegally. Not
all
all are violent, but all are here illegally.
How do you differentiate if nobody gets a hearing, if you don't have due process? How do you distinguish one from the other?
Well,
so what you're saying is every person that's here in this country is a criminal, is a gang member, should be thrown in jail.
Every person who's
That's
here
what's
illegally,
happening.
every person who is here illegally is in fact a criminal. Some of them do come here and commit violent crimes
Some of
and
them, but
still
how do you
aren't
differentiate
deported.
if you don't have a
Well,
process?
some have records and some don't.
But they
I'm
still
here to
have
break the news.
constitutional rights.
They're all going
hold on a
away.
They still
second.
have constitutional
I want to make
rights.
sure that we're not straying from the point of this conversation, which is a question about due process rights. And so I'll just ask really quickly, do you believe that undocumented immigrants have to have due process rights, that that's constitutionally what they are entitled to?
I'm unsure of what that means in the context of some of the cases that we've been dealing with in the news lately, because I've been looking at these people who have been here for 14 years, have been through
Okay.
numerous immigration.
All right, well,
I have a question about what does that mean?
All right.
Yes,
well,
I agree, but what does it mean?
Let me bring the Supreme.
All right. I can't keep playing it because we might get striped. But all right, so I'm gonna start this off. We started off with the ladies the whole time. I mean, I know I look like Joe got some marbles going around in there. Joe, what's your thoughts, bro?
I believe in due process. I do believe in due process.
Let me set it up. All right, so due process, cool. We all believe in due process. But Joe, let me ask you: should due process apply to illegal immigrants?
Yes.
Okay. So
also, I don't call them illegal. I call them undocumented.
Okay, la-di-da, right? Okay, so I'll
Makes a difference.
Okay.
Don't do that.
All right. Okay. All right. I thought we wasn't woke here, but I guess we are. All right.
I don't think it's undocumented.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So they get due process, and you believe that too?
Constitutionally, our Constitution says it.
I mean, it's up for interpretation. The Supreme Court justices talked about it
It's
or whatever.
not. It says every person.
Every person. Okay. What about you?
Not
what
every
about you, Chelsea?
citizen, every person.
What's your thoughts on it? Or should illegal immigrants be given due process?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not going to surprise anybody, but I don't think so. No, I don't think due process should apply to everybody in a fucking world. I don't think like if as long as you come here, it should.
No,
in
the United States, not the world.
If you illegally cross the goddamn the imaginary line that from Mexico to wherever or from Canada or whatever, you shouldn't. It shouldn't take 10 years of fucking litigation to get you out. That's ridiculous to me. I don't understand this shit. I don't understand that if you walk across the border illegally, we need to pay for your lawyer and the whole legal process to get you out the goddamn country. I don't understand this concept. It doesn't make sense to me. So is anybody in the world, a Somali fucking pirate could come here on a boat, get out in Florida and be like, okay, I'm here now, guys. It takes 3 fucking years of court processing and proceedings to get them back to fucking Somali. That's insane to me. So anybody in the world could just come here and be like, I'm staying here, y'all. Fuck it. That's fucking crazy. No country in the world works like that. Anywhere in the world, France is getting you the fuck out of here. England is getting you the fuck out of here.
We have to change the Constitution.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense. How I understood due process is that if any of us, or listen, any person with legal status, refugee, student, citizen, whatever, if you're here legally, then yeah, the cops can't just grab you, throw you in a paddy wagon and be like, you getting 20 years in jail in the goddamn concentration camp. I didn't think that it just applied to everyone in the world as long as you touch a goddamn toe on a goddamn the United States. That doesn't make sense to me.
It's not the same though. Like they're not entitled to 12 jurors in a trial. There's like a specific.
The dude was in here for 14 years. They're talking about bringing him back so he can still go through the court process. How many fucking years that's going to take? He was
here for 14 years, but that I don't think that they were trying to get. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a court process for 14 years.
The dude that they're talking about, the Garcia dude, Obama shipped his ass back to his country before. He just came back, and Trump sent his ass back. So these people could just come back, and then they're just entitled to all the rights we are fucking entitled to as citizens. That's our system. Our system will be fucking bankrupt. We would have no money. We would have to. There would have to be a courthouse on every other fucking block.
What's the alternative?
Put them on a fucking bus like Obama did, like Bush did, like everybody else did before. Y'all just hate it and send them the fuck home. That's the alternative. That's what makes sense.
My question is, what's the alternative? Like, obviously they're risking their lives and trying to get here for a reason. Reasons usually rooted back to something that the United States is doing back in their country, right?
I sympathize.
So, a lot of countries do a lot of fucked up shit. Somalian babies are having their heads chopped off left and right, and they're scared. They're fleeing here, right?
Fair.
The option is to do it legally and it's not a process where they can be like, oh, I want to do this legally. Here's my money. And now I'm here. My life is in danger and I don't have 10 years to wait to be legally.
Everybody got it. Listen, some motherfuckers got it harder than others in life.
Which is what Obama was trying to do.
No, that's not what. No. Obama, if you look this shit up, Obama deported more people than Trump ever has.
I'm not talking about once they're here. I'm talking about the process to do it right. Like, what is the alternative if I'm literally watching genocide happening on my front step? And you're saying that I should come here legally, right? I should do the process.
Everyone should, regardless of how tough you have it. Yes, you should. And if you don't, then you're subject to whatever penalties
because of. But some people may not even make it through the process if they're in.
And that's what we call life. Like I understand.
America let them in.
I understand the human part of it, but I'm like, yo, if the entire world population is just like, hey guys, let's all go to America, what the fuck is gonna happen to us? Like, it's insane. It doesn't. Where does this end?
They wouldn't if we mind our business and stay out of their shit where they're coming
Russia
from.
Does shit. China do shit that ain't got nothing to do with us. Canada does shit. Other countries do stuff. We're not just like the boogeyman that just fucks up everybody's country. China got a whole pollution problem. If the whole population of China could be like, yo, we don't want to. Our air quality is fucked up here. Let's all go to America. Y'all cool with that? 1 billion motherfuckers just popping up in America. Like, all right, cool. We here now. The air suck over there. Let's come live over here now. That's insane.
Well, so, okay. All right. So then what's your beef with undocumented people?
No, I don't have a beef with undocumented people. Why
are you trying to deport them?
You're right. I'll change that. I do have a beef. They shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be here.
What's your beef with them?
Because they should do it the legal way. They should come legally so that way we know who you are. I have a friend that's a
So
trooper.
do you have?
Go ahead.
No. I hear. So I'm trying to figure out like what. So this is a conservative argument. What you're saying. I've heard this before, right? So I'm just trying to figure out. I always try to figure out like what's your beef with undocumented people being here? Because
you don't know. We are all less safe. You don't know who these people are. They can drop that. Listen,
we're not safe with our own people, bro.
Okay, so why do we want more people? Why do we want more people to be unsafe with them? This makes no sense.
Mass shootings, those are homegrown Americans, bro.
So, but why do we want everybody else's bad people too? So what? We got our own bad people. That's a good point. We got our own bad people. Why we want El Salvador's bad people? Why do we want Venezuela's bad people? Why do we want China's bad people? Why do we want everybody's bad people?
I'm not saying we want their bad people. What I'm saying is I don't know none of my homies who are lined up to go pick cherries and tomatoes and fruit and the things that we eat on our salads to go toll the land. I don't see no niggas around Philly lining up to do the works the immigrants do to get food.
None of them.
The farmers are that's
they
listen.
will be
any of that.
That's big. That's big farmers' problem. That ain't our problem. They'll figure it out.
Jobs that they're doing.
But it is our problem. It will be when you paying $20 for blueberries.
Then that's a problem.
They come here. They make their shitty money because they get exploited by corporations. Corporations that
which you're against, though, right? Aren't you against that?
You defend the fuck out of them, right?
No, but you're against it. So
I am against them.
Okay, so shouldn't for the greater good, shouldn't they be sent home or pay living wages?
What I'm saying is we benefit from them being here, and then for some reason we want them here. We exploit them. They buy stuff here, so they pay taxes somehow because they're still buying goods in America. So they pay a tax to buy things. So they're paying into the system somehow, being exploited for their labor so we can eat and get cheap food. But then on the other side, we don't want them here. That makes no sense to me.
We don't know who the fuck they are. We don't know. We don't know.
Y'all got to make up your minds. Like, y'all don't want them
just
here.
by knowing their name doesn't mean we know who they are either.
Yeah, if you can find people, if you know someone's information, you can find them. I can move out of my house right now, and they'd be like, okay, we know this. We know who this dude is.
Ty, if I saw a bunch of people wearing "Make America Great Again" hats lined up to go toll the land or to go do some plumbing or do some construction and put some sheetrock up for $100 for 8 hours, I would have a completely different perspective. But they're not trying to do that work. They just want to shit on undocumented people while benefiting from all the things that they do for our economy. That I don't understand. Like, what's your beef with them when we benefit from them being here? I don't understand the problem.
I think it's wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that they stole from the beginning.
But it doesn't make any sense.
I think it's wrong to take advantage of this cheap labor. I think it's wrong.
But they still do, though. Democrats do and Republicans do.
But morally, I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong to pay them pennies on a dollar. So they should should treat them properly. They should treat them. They should pay them better. And if they were documented, they would be forced to pay them better.
Or you can pay better and give those jobs to American citizens. But the problem is the pay is shit, and don't nobody want to work for slave wages.
I guess we're gonna find out.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like we kind of created this problem. It's like we create the problem, but we're attacking the symptoms and not the source. So it's like we have these shitty jobs that are important and need to be done, but we pay slave wages, so nobody wants to do it.
So are we okay with illegal immigration, or are we not? So are we cool with just the whole world migrating here if they want, or are they not? Because it can't be both.
Like it's not as black and white as you're painting it to be, Ty. Like I understand there should be a process. People who are here should go through a process of naturalization. So I get that, but we also have this problem where I don't see MAGA people line all
that's
the
not the that's not the,
no it is important because they're the ones who
okay so for you it's maybe bullshit. For you it's kind of maybe.
What do you mean kind of maybe?
Kind of maybe it's okay.
My mom, I'm an anchor baby. My mother immigrated from Nicaragua. My mother just got her citizenship like a year or two ago, so I'm very biased. So of course,
but you don't have to be a citizen. You could be here legally and not be a citizen. I'm not saying you could be here legally and not be a citizen.
I'm just saying, I hear your argument, bro. What I'm saying is, like, I just feel like you don't keep that same energy for the motherfuckers who are benefiting from the situation, who are these rich assholes who have us demonizing immigration people like they're these monsters. But like I said, Americans are the ones shooting up the malls, shooting up the fucking schools and the movie theaters. Those aren't immigrants. They're not doing that,
I'm against those people too. I'm against
like,
those people too. So what about you, Ange? Are you
like I'm like, bro, immigrants ain't pulling me over because of my skin color. Like I just feel like there's so many issues that we have here that I can't blame on undocumented citizens. And it's like, bro, how we like I don't understand. Like they want to demonize them. The media wants to demonize them, but I don't see why we have to demonize them. I just don't see it. I feel like we can talk about this without making them a scapegoat. Like we're just mad at them for what, bro? Like they benefit our economy, whether you like it or not. They do. And you conservative motherfuckers ain't out there trying to do their jobs. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
That's all
I
I'm
think it's a
saying, bro.
straw
Like,
man argument.
What about
You
you,
know what I'm
Angie? What
saying?
about you,
Like,
Angie?
I
So you
just don't
for or
understand,
against it?
bro.
You for or against legal immigration?
I'm going to say more for than
Okay,
against it.
cool. You for it? Oh, listen, I'm here for it.
I'm not for it. I think there needs to be a better process to do it, but I think you can't
If
be
I
mad.
had to choose a side,
Okay, well,
How about pay living wage so that Americans would be more enticed to do these jobs and we don't have to exploit wage immigrants? How about that? Or do you support that? No,
yeah,
right?
do I support
Exactly.
paying a living wage? Yeah, I support paying a living wage.
Exactly. All I said
But that's
was
not the
pay a
question.
living
That's not
wage
like
and give those jobs to Americans.
that's
crickets. Crickets. Y'all saw that moment, right?
that's not the
It's on
question.
record.
Like you're asking a completely different
Crickets.
question. I disagree with the
Not a
entire
completely
question
different
in general.
What
Like
I'm saying is, if those jobs paid well, Americans would want them and they would do them, even if they suck.
we could throw a lot of
They
ifs in
paid
there.
well.
A lot of shit, then everything would be cool. But they don't. So it is what it is.
But we don't. So don't bitch about the undocumented people who are doing it when you don't want to do it. That's why I'm
not
confused,
doing
bro.
it.
Like, you want to have your cake and eat it too. Like, do you want to do so? Then make these rich assholes pay better for these jobs and give them to Americans. But they're not. They're just exploiting them. And then the media has us fighting over undocumented people and making them scapegoats while we fight.
I
And bitch
genuinely
about them.
don't
And it's just,
understand.
you know what I mean? That's my
I
great.
like
just
they-
I don't understand.
That's steal.
I don't understand. I don't understand why people are cool. I don't get it. I truly don't get it. What about you, Chelsea? You for or against illegal immigration?
Chelsea's like, I don't know.
I feel like I'm like Ange. If I had to pick a side, probably leaning more towards 4.
Okay, cool. Well, listen.
And
a couple,
nothing good comes out of
I think there
demonizing
could be a better process.
nobody's demonizing anybody by saying, "Bro, come here legally." That's not demonizing anything.
The guy on the video said they're rapists, they're criminals, and like all that. That's the first go.
No. He was saying that he was saying that to antagonize the other dude. He wasn't calling them rapists and criminals.
Yeah, but I've already heard it from you conservatives, bro. All the people with the red hats, they all say the same bullshit. They're xenophobes. I've heard it. You're gonna try to tell me that a lot of MAGA people aren't xenophobes?
I mean, I'm sure, but there's a legitimate argument for against illegal immigration. Look at Poland. Look at other countries. Other countries don't be like, okay, guys, whoever wants to come in here, come on in, guys. They don't fucking do that shit. So, like, if it was so great and fantastic, why wouldn't every other country in the world be cool with it?
But I mean, they also don't advertise themselves as America, which is supposed to be this land of the free, home of the brave, the melting pot.
Yeah, melting pot. If you come here legally, if you come here and go through the right ports of entry and get your fucking papers, then we'll melt you in. We'll screw that ass.
Yeah, and I would do that if my life wasn't on the line and it didn't take 10 years to do that.
We all got it.
I'm coming.
Everybody got a story. Everybody got a story.
The audacity, right, to come here, murder the people who lived here, take their land, and then put up a wall.
Come
and
to
say,
your
okay,
stolen
no one else
land.
can come in here. You have to come here legally. Like what, bruh?
Okay. All right. Well, listen. Let us know what y'all think, family. I guess I'm the only one against illegal immigration on here. So y'all let us know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe.
What if they were from Dubai? Are they allowed in?
And you know what I mean?
Can they come if they from Dubai?
If they
Listen,
from Dubai,
I guarantee you, I guarantee y'all, if what they did in Massachusetts was the governor of Massachusetts, she was having a hard time. Texas kept exporting illegal immigrants there. So their shelters and shit start getting overrun. So she comes out with a news conference. She's like, listen, we can offer you guys money if you just, bring in a undocumented family, we'll pay you guys, whatever. Guess how many fucking volunteers they got for that program? None. Fucking none. So all you motherfuckers talking about bring them in. I bet you if it affects your fucking life, you ain't with it. Y'all not taking no fucking undocumented
we got
person in your
space
house.
here for them though. Let's not trip.
Okay, but no.
They don't gotta sleep on their couches.
But y'all cool with it. Y'all cool with it as long as it's somebody else's problem though. If it got to be your problem, your ass gonna scratch your head and be like, well, that could be somebody else's problem. Ain't gonna be my problem.
It's not that we're cool with it. It's not that we're cool with it too. But you also got to think like undocumented immigrants aren't the reason that we have inflation. Undocumented immigrants aren't the reason we ship billions of dollars to Ukraine.
I didn't suggest any of that.
Listen to me. Let me land. Undocumented immigrants aren't the reason we sent billions to foreign countries to fight wars that we don't even defend. Undocumented immigrants aren't the reason that the housing costs have increased significantly. Undocumented immigrants didn't implement the tariffs that are making the cost of goods increase everywhere. Undocumented immigrants did none of that. So it's not that
in some places, Joe.
But like,
Joe,
the stress. They're not adding stress to my life like the U.S. government is right now.
Not in your life. Not in your life. But in New York and Chicago, they're adding stress to their life because they're trying to increase their property taxes, Joe.
That's in the bottom of the list of priorities.
Joe, if you lived in New York or Chicago, they're trying to increase the property taxes because they can't afford to pay for the migrants anymore. They're increasing your property taxes. Are you going to be cool with that? No, you're not.
Immigrants, when rich billionaires are robbing our fucking country blind. Are you serious?
That's your answer to everything.
Why are we talking about undocumented immigrants when rich assholes are ruining our country right now?
Joe, look up what's going on in Chicago. Look up what's going on in Chicago. The residents,
billionaires who are hijacking our
Brandon
country.
Johnson has a 6% approval rating because he's trying to increase property taxes, and people are like, bro, we're not trying to pay for these fucking illegal immigrants. We're not trying to do it. Or undocumented people. I'm sorry, we woke now. We're not trying to pay for those people.
I don't care.
But those people do, though. You don't because it's not affecting you. If you had to pay double for your house tomorrow, then you would.
They didn't make the NASDAQ drop. They didn't tank the economy.
Are you investing? Are you like?
They didn't do that. I don't care. Talk about the rich people, not the fucking undocumented.
If you lived in Chicago, you would care. If you lived in Chicago, you would care. Google it. If you lived in Chicago, you would care.
The working class.
I wish I should have pulled it up for this clip.
I'd rather defend the people who are working hard for their fucking money instead of these rich assholes who are ruining our country. That's where I'm at. Keep that same energy for them rich motherfuckers.
All right. Well, let us know what y'all think, family.
I don't care.
Let us know what y'all think,
All
family.
you want.
Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.